Live in Chicago, and another tumultuous week for the economy. Today, the International Monetary Fund, which is the major financial agency of the UN, downgraded the global growth forecast by 0.5% to 2.8%, also cutting expected U.S. growth nearly a whole percent to 1.8%. The agency saying the expected significant slowdown comes in response to President Trump's continued trade war on the world, which has been sinking the global trading markets. Yesterday, the Dow shed another 1,000 points, sending it toward its worst April since the Great Depression. Now, some of the U.S.'s largest banks are warning of a recession. Morgan Stanley saying there's a 40% chance. Goldman Sachs places the likelihood at 45%, and J.P. Morgan Chase has the odds at 60%. But the Trump administration remains defiant, promising the economy is actually strong and getting stronger. We are expecting to hear from the White House press secretary in the next hour. We will bring that to you live. But we begin with News Nation's Marcus Espinoza live on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Marcus is following the very latest on our economy.
Nichole, yes. So here's the thing. Let's start with the market, right? You mentioned that day yesterday. Not a good Monday at all, but markets have rebounded today about 1%. This comes after the president went to social media there, went after the federal chairman, sent out a few not so pleasant things there, including calling him Mr. Too Late and, quote, a major loser. So that was yesterday. Today, markets rebounding here. And for the IMF in the United States, they have lowered expected growth for this year to just under 2%. Which is nearly a full percentage point lower than forecasted in January, and tariffs account for nearly half of that dip. The IMF is downgrading its global growth forecast 2.8% and 3% this year and next year, which is a total downgrade of a little under a full percent there versus their January 2025 update. Why is this? The IMF said in its report today that growth is down, quote, in some parts saying reflecting effective tariff rates to levels not seen in a century, a highly unpredictable environment. Global headline inflation is expected to decline at a slightly slower pace than what was expected in January. The IMF also notes the pause in tariffs for most countries not named China. Well, that really does little to improve this forecast, even if that pause lasts indefinitely. So some good news. The IMF says that global growth rates remain well above recession levels. So a little bit of a nice bit of good news there at the end.
All right, so Marcus, what, if anything, can be done to improve this outlook, at least from the IMF's perspective?
I think in layman terms, if everybody kind of takes a step back and kind of regroups here, if new trade deals can get worked out, if they can reanalyze some things here, that's coming from the IMF. They really want everybody to take a step back and try to realize what exactly is happening there, renegotiate some of these trade deals and try to figure out what exactly can improve from that. They're also calling on folks to have some prudence here, for countries to have some prudence, and then improve that collaboration, saying the first priority should be to restore trade policy stability and then forge mutually beneficial arrangement. President Trump has shown no sign of easing up on those tariffs in the battle there that he's waging against other countries. So this is really a wait-and-see game, depending on what the president does, which, as we've noticed, can change every single day, depending on what tariff and who he might want to levy that against, depending on the country.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we'll see what the press secretary says a little bit later. Marcus, thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.